Welcome in to the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and by Metcalf Trucking Company. Today we sit down with Hector Wildcat head coach Trevor Cooper. This Pigskin Preview is brought to you by Hector Pharmacy. And by Hicks Life Contracting, LLC.
Welcome back to the Hometown Sports Arkansas Football Preview, brought to you by the Arkansas Sports Network. Today we're at Hector. We've got Coach Trevor Cooper of the Hector Wildcats. And Coach, man, I'm glad to be here. I was just talking about how this community, this team, you guys have had such great success over the last 25, 26 years. Out of nowhere, 1998, that's a long time ago. I remember it. Not a lot of people do. You guys made a state championship run. They made a great run the next year. And y'all have had success, lots of success since then. And tell us a little bit about what it's like to have that kind of expectation.
It's tough to have that expectation every year, but when you got backing from your administration, from your town in general, I mean, everybody backs football here. So yeah. It really makes it easy because everybody holds each other accountable. It holds our players accountable. They want to prove something every time they go out on the field that they deserve to wear the Wildcat jersey. Yeah. And that's kind of where it all stems from, is they want to make their town proud. We talk about it all the time when we call it up and stuff like that. It's about making your town proud. It's where you're from. It's the name on the front, not the back, things like that. And it just kind of translates throughout the games and stuff. When it becomes a pride issue for your town, start getting recognized, put your town on the map is kind of what we always talk about. And I feel like our kids have really bought into that over the last few years.
I tell a lot of people, and I know there's a lot of towns in Arkansas that take pride in their team, but I personally have not run into one town that takes more pride in their team than the Hector Wildcats. It's unbelievable here. I know y'all have the support here amongst the town. So let's talk a little bit about last year. You had some success. You had some late success, especially one of the wins of the state playoffs last year when you guys went to Mineral Springs and on that comeback victory. Talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit about last year.
Just last year, I mean, every game that we played, it was a one-possession game. I mean, ball bounces our way one time, and we could have been undefeated. I mean, it was that simple. Every game came down to one possession. And early in the year, we really made a tough schedule last year. I mean, we played some tough teams, and we thought it would help out going into the playoffs because, I mean, here we're trying to win in playoffs is what we're trying to do. And playing the Mark Trees early, playing teams like that early in the year, it makes our kids not panic when it comes down to the situations when you're playing Mineral Springs, who I thought was the most athletic team out there. Yeah. And we just kind of go into that game, and we're like, hey, man, we're just going to play our ball. We're going to play our game. And we never hit the panic button. We're down 28-7 at one point, and our kids just never panicked. You could see it in their eyes. They're calm and collected. They felt like they were going to come back and win that game. And we just kept punching. And then finally the ball bounced our way. It seemed like one of the first times all year. Yeah. And we just got us a chance to win it at the end. It was just an amazing experience for those kids.
Season ended at Carlisle, but a very competitive game there as well. And you guys you had a good year last year, very solid year. No, there's a lot of graduated players, though, a lot of important players that you had on the team. And so, but let's talk about those that are returning. Tell us a little bit about the guys that you're going to depend on this year.
Yeah, so we're going to have a new guy at quarterback, Drew Newport. He's a guy who's got a big-time arm. He throws it really, really well. We're losing a 3-year starter in Jackson Taylor, and it's going to hurt in some ways, but Drew's going to be able to step in, and he's already shown it some this summer and during the spring that he's got the arm talent to play and be successful. And then Ken Story is going to be another one that he really started emerging as the year went on. We're expecting some big things from him. Grayson Mulder returns at wide receiver, 6'5". I mean, it's hard to guard a guy that's 6'5" out there. And then Lucas Baker is going to be one that steps up for us this year at running back and receiver also. And so we're excited about them on offense. And then defense, we're replacing All-State Peter Waite at linebacker. Hayden Millsaps, he played a lot of snaps at linebacker last year, but he's going to have to take on a little bit bigger role this year for us.
Yeah. Let's talk about kids that you got that had all-conference recognition last year.
So Ken Story, all-conference wide receiver safety. He's going to split some time at running back and wide receiver, and then still at that safety spot. And then Landon Darter, all-conference defensive end and tight end. He's gotten a little bit stronger, and he's a little bit more physical, and he's going to be a senior this year. He's going to take on a leadership role here. And then we had also Cole Huffman. Cole Huffman's a guy that he started every game at right tackle for the past 2 years for us, and at nose guard. And so he's a 500-pound squatter, and so he's a strong kid, and we're expecting some big things from him.
Well, let's talk about the offense that you guys run. What is it that you guys hang your hat on offense?
Physicality in the run game is what we transitioned to the past last year and what we're going to this year. We're really wanting to get after you up front and just have success moving the football on the ground, because a few years ago it was all air raid, it was throw it around and stuff like that, and we noticed that we couldn't go very far with just relying on that. And so we started developing the run game and gotten a lot better over the past couple of years, and just hanging a hat on our kids when they go out there in this run game and they're getting after you every time.
What about your defense? What do you guys run on defense?
We're a multiple defense this year. We're mostly going to base out of a 3-4. We got a bunch of smaller linemen, and they're going to get after you, get to different gaps easy. Our defense should be pretty solid this year.
Tell us a little bit about your conference. Every year it changes. You guys are in the 2A1. I know one of the things about the 2A1, y'all are kind of in the middle, but I know that Mountainburg and Mount Ida are in the same conference. That's crazy to me.
Yes.
But tell us a little bit about your conference and what you expect out of other teams.
Yeah, so our conference, we added Mount Ida and Mountain Pine. We don't know much about either one of those because we haven't played them in a long time. We know Coach White over there at Mount Ida. He does a great job in their offense and in their defense. I mean, they're going to get after you, but Bigelow's going to be good again. Conway Christian is going to be really good. They're going to have a bunch of seniors from their class that they've been expecting a lot from. So it's going to be a challenge this year. There, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, for sure. I know that those two you just mentioned, those are state title contenders there in the 2A. I know that Conway Christian, they were really solid this last year, and I think they expect to move up and be a little better. And then, of course, Bigelow right now, they've got it going on over there. They've got just a great athletic program going all the way around. So you got to contend with that. Then you said Mountain Pine. Mountain Pine's coming out of the 8-man. Mountainburg has got a lot of tradition, and they're definitely going to be a team to be reckoned with as well. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about your schedule. I know you talked a little bit about your schedule and what you did last year as far as scheduling. Tell us a little bit about what you got coming up this year.
This year, I mean, last 2 years we have traveled a long ways. I mean, we've had multiple 3 to 4 hour trips in our schedule. This year we kind of wanted to get a little closer, so we got Perryville. We got Yellville, Summit, and Danville. So we're going to be a little bit more closer this year instead of putting our kids on a bus for 3.5 hours multiple times a year. So we're looking to kind of get some different looks at some different offenses and things like that. Some physicality. Perryville's been notoriously good for a while, so they're going to be a challenge opening the gates. And then Yellville, they've got a new coach this year, so we're not sure what they're going to go to. And Danville's got Coach Crane back, so I mean they're going to be on the rise. They're going to get after you.
Oh, no doubt about that. We've already talked to Coach Crane a little bit. He's excited about his team and what he's got coming back. I know that one of the things he said was size. He talked about their size. Let's talk about Hector. Hector's always got a little bit of size. What kind of size do you have?
Oh, we're not going to be very big this year. Past couple of years, I don't know where the sizes went. But, I mean, that's AA. We kind of go through cycles on size, but our kids, man, they'll get after you. It don't matter how big you are. They're not scared of going up against a 6'5" guy. They've seen it. They've done it. And so, I mean, it don't really matter for size for us. We're still going to get after it.
That is a hallmark of Hector, and really not just the football team, but the town itself. There's a toughness about people here at Hector, and, I know it spills over into their athletics.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it comes from you work for everything you get around here. And so our kids, I mean, that's what they're preached to all the time. You are not going to be given anything. And our kids, they'll go out and take it from you.
They sure will. They're no doubt tough kids, come from tough families, and they're definitely, when I know that when people know they're going to line up against Hector, they know they're going to have a dogfight on their hands. All right, so let's talk a little bit. Just last question here, really. Tell us a little bit about this. It will be a successful season at Hector if.
It'll be a successful season at Hector if we host a home playoff game. I want to say that.
All right. Home playoff game. What would that be? You would have to be in the top 3 at least, correct?
Yep.
And that just depends on how your conference or the playoff seeding falls and all that. So hosting a home playoff game. I know there's been many playoff games here at Hector, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more coming up because this town takes pride in their football team for sure. Well, that's Coach Trevor Cooper on the Hometown Sports Arkansas Football Preview, presented by the Arkansas Sports Network. We want to say thank you for joining us here. Again, several videos across the platform here on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure that you're watching here as we interview coaches from around the state of Arkansas. Until next time, I'm Brad Caldwell. This is Trevor Cooper, and we'll see you then.
Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.